Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC. I'm Mark and
I'm Carl.
You're Carl.
I am indeed. And today we are talking M chassis or MTC. What should we call it these days?
I don't know what it is these days, but you know, M chassis runs deep for us, don't it? Because it really got us back into the whole racing scene again, especially Pop Along RC. So yeah, we're quite familiar with that chassis.
We are. We owe a lot to the good old-fashioned Tamiya M03. This car back in the day couldn't do a lot to it, could you?
No, which was the beauty of it, because everybody ran the same thing. Couldn't even change you can change the gearing, but you're not allowed, are you?
No, we had fixed gearing, and say the upgrades and things that you could change on it were very minimal. So it was a really level playing field. Cost effective, great form of racing.
Yep.
And obviously in the heyday we had 30 minis running over at Leighton Buzzard. So that was 3 heats of 10. It was, I'll tell you what, that C final was carnage.
Yeah.
Whereas that A final was a bit of a procession. It was some good close racing. Yeah. Then unfortunately the M03s, well, they kind of evolved quite a lot, didn't
they? They did evolve, but also what happened is that you can no longer get them anymore in kit form. They do not sell them. Tamiya, if you're listening, please do a re-release of the M03. Why have they not done it? I don't know. If anybody knows why they've not done it, drop it in the comments below, because I think they're missing the trick.
They are. I mean, if they re-released the M03, especially with a Mini Cooper, I'd be all over that. But you know what? I'll settle for any M03. Really, because all I want is another chassis, because I would run this more if it was easier to get hold of spares.
Yeah, exactly. You can get hold of spares, but it's getting more and more difficult. What with the Iconic, we met with John Weston, didn't we? The guy who runs all the Iconic meetings, and I think he feels a bit guilty because, probably because of him and his Iconic events, we all buy the spares for these cars and there's not much left, is there?
No, and the price of them as well.
Yeah.
I remember, actually, it might have been this one, it might have been my previous one of these. I bought the chassis off of eBay, came with ESC, servo, spare tyres, 2 shells, for about £50.
Wow.
Like, that was the going rate back then. Like, the price of RC cars on eBay has absolutely skyrocketed.
Massively.
It's gone crazy.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to know what that's worth now, because it's no longer worth 50 quid, is it? It's worth a lot more.
Yeah, I would say, well, the shocks that this one's got it on it are
100 quid.
Are they? Is that how much they go for now? The TRF ones.
TRF ones, yeah, £90, something like that.
So
that alone is, yes, a sought after car, no doubt about it.
It is indeed. But enough of the Tamiya M chassis. Hopefully you've seen the video. I had a fantastic weekend, boss.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
I did indeed. Yeah. And as I say, the M03 is a front wheel drive M chassis car. This here is a front wheel drive MTC, which is a mini touring car, and the actual wheelbase, the distance and size of these cars is identical, so they both could run the same shell. And brilliant. It was like, basically it was like driving this, but the grip level was higher, and it could carry a lot more speed through the turns. I
suppose really and truly, you know, the old M03 here was always built for heavy grade nickel metal, or actually back then NiCad batteries, so it was never designed to run lipos. And actually, in actual fact, if you put lipos in it, it's not that much quicker. But however, this is designed for all the new modern tech, and there's a lot of R&D that's gone into this car, because we know that because we ran the prototype, and you ran this last week and did well with it, didn't you? So it's a great car, isn't it?
Fantastic. Yeah. I had one of the best days racing. So a shout out to Anthony. He was running the Express version of the Fronty, and we just had some of the closest racing. And it was minute after minute after minute. It was, really good day had.
Yeah, I weren't there.
You weren't? Yeah. But you know what? You're going to be running that at the next round, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll see what happens on that one.
Unless we can get one of these other cars up and running. Now this car over here, it's worth mentioning, this is a Carten M210R, and this has actually been donated to the channel. The idea being that we're going to get this car up and running, so that if there is a newbie that turns up at any of the clubs that we're running, we've got a car we can say, have a go at this. So unfortunately, it hasn't got a motor, hasn't got an ESC or a servo, hasn't got any wheels, but we have got the chassis, and hopefully when funds allow, we'll try and get this car up and running. If there's any guys out there that have got some bits you feel like donating to the cause and chucking in this car, do let us know, because yeah, it'd be great to get more people into the hobby.
Absolutely. I have myself never really run a four-wheel drive MTC. I have to say, does it interest me? I don't know. You know, I'm running my other touring car, if you've watched any of the videos, and I'm really enjoying getting involved with that. And this just looks like a really scaled down version. It's taken me a long time to get that dialed in, so it's going to be the same thing with one of these, isn't it? You can't just get it, put it on a track and it'll go. It has to be over time tweaked and, you know, got ready to race, really.
And that's when we come over to this. Now, you might have seen on the channel, we have featured the Express within the MTC videos, and I have got an Express car here, which I bought second hand. Now, for new people coming into the hobby, buying second hand is often a cheaper alternative to buying a brand new car. MTC was really popular. This came up for a really good price, so I grabbed it straight away because I wanted to get involved. However, I didn't build this car. I didn't set this car up. I don't know what oils are in the shocks. I don't know what oils are in the diffs. I don't really know how to set this up for racing, because as it came, as I've got it, it's not quite right. And
it's not quite right, no.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know where to start it. I think it's going to take me a while, because I'm going to have to pretty much strip it back down to basics and start again from scratch. Because I just don't know anything, and that is a job that when you're running as many cars as we do, and our collection is as vast, and we're spreading ourselves between the MTC, the touring car, the TTO ones, plus all the buggy stuff that we do, I haven't actually got time to actually put into this and taking it to a track and getting it tested out. So,
but you are safe in the knowledge that the guy that you bought it off actually really knows what he's doing.
He does.
He has looked after it.
He has looked after it. So it's in good condition. It's just...
It's only when you got it, you destroyed it and made it terrible, right?
I haven't really done a great deal to it. It might just be... I have actually put a new set of tyres on now, so it might have just been wrong tyre choice. There's so many variables with these touring cars, because you've got... Yeah, all the variables that you've got on your full-size touring car.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, but in miniature. But, you know, that aside, this one, you haven't mentioned anything about this. Again, this is a car I have never driven.
Do you know what? That's quite fun, that car. So, obviously, I'm not a beginner racer, it's fair to say, whereas the Tamiya Mini class was considered to be the beginner class at our club. And... I didn't get on with the M05 at all, which is the newer version of the M03. So I didn't get on with the M05. I didn't have at the time a running M03, and I fancied something different. The M07 had come out, but if I'd got the M07 and run up against other people with M05s and M03s, no contest. That car that's pretty much an MTC, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's a race spec car. And everyone said the M06 was awful. So I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself the M06. Now, the M06 is a rear wheel drive car, whereas the 3, 5 and 7 are all front wheel drive. So the 2, the 4, the 6 and the 8 are the rear wheel drive cars. So yeah, it does drive completely differently. And I think the first time I went there, I came last. Went back the following week. I think I was sort of top 3. Went back the following week and I won, and then I put it on the shelf and never run it again.
Yeah, you did set out. It was a bit of a challenge.
It was,
you know,
and
because people doubted you. You bought this, and people were going, "Why did you buy that?" And I have to say, looking at it, can I be honest?
Go on then.
I think it looks horrible.
Yeah,
it's very hard plastic, and I think it's over-engineered as well. I mean, what's all this about here? This servo and the massive, great sort of servo linkage there. What is all that about? It's crazy, right? But hey, whatever. And the centre of gravity is really high in it. I don't like it.
All right, leave it alone.
Don't like it. But hey, that's just me.
Do you know what though? It was a challenge, that one. I just wanted to get it up. The other reason I bought it as well is if you've seen some of our other videos, you'll know that I do like a Beetle or a Bugster. And that was the VW Beetle. So yeah, that's why I got it, because it was a Beetle and I like the look of the Beetle. But I got that round the track all right, and it is a different style of driving.
Yeah. But listen, there you go. So these are all M chassis cars. They're all very different. This one here is the latest one, to sum things up. We're going to be running it again in a few weeks for the last round of the Clubman's MTC Championship.
Definitely.
Which will be good. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the nice gentleman there will rally round and get us a nice four-wheel drive MTC, which one of us can race. Or maybe I'll have a go at that. I don't know, I've not had a go at one yet, so that'd be quite good. So if you guys are watching, get on ready for us. Cheers.
I'm getting tempted to get my Mini back out for the Iconic Cup this year, boss.
Do it.
It might happen.
Do it.
Probably need a complete rebuild, but it's going to happen, I think.
Yeah, well, stay tuned to find out more about that. I'd like to see that. Anyway, like, subscribe, smash the ding dong bell, and I'll see you soon.